Dear children of God, listen carefully to this message, for it's time everyone understands the powerful truth that has echoed through the ages. When Moses stood at the burning bush, God spoke words that would change everything. I am who I am. These simple words carry a meaning so deep that we're still discovering their power today. As we journey together into this truth, prepare your hearts for a message that will transform how you see God and your place in His plan. In these troubled times when the world seems to be falling apart, you need to know what these words mean for your life. Wars rage across nations, natural disasters shake the earth, and people search desperately for something solid to hold on to. The God who spoke to Moses isn't limited by time or human understanding. He exists before everything else, complete in Himself, needing nothing but choosing to come close to us because of His great love. This truth isn't just ancient history. It's the key to finding peace and purpose in your life today. Think about how the false gods of Egypt fell before the true God, the I Am. Those gods needed people to believe in them and worship them to exist. They needed temples, sacrifices, and constant attention from their followers. But the true God stands alone, complete and all-powerful. Today we have our own false gods: money, fame, technology, success. But they too will fail before the living God. The same God who parted the Red Sea and led His people through the desert is still working today, reaching out to help you in this important time. His power hasn't diminished, and His promises haven't failed. When you feel lost and alone, overwhelmed by life's challenges and uncertain about tomorrow, remember this truth. The I Am isn't some distant God watching from far away. When He told Moses, "I am with you," He made a promise that still stands today. It reaches into your life, your struggles, your doubts. Every breath you take comes from His power. Every step you take is guided by His wisdom. He sees your tears, knows your fears, and understands your needs before you even speak them. This is the God who walks beside you, who stays with you through the darkest nights and the hardest battles. The presence of the I Am changes everything about how we face life's challenges. When bills pile up and you're not sure how to make ends meet, remember that the God who fed Israel with manna in the desert still provides for His people. When sickness strikes and the doctor's reports look grim, remember that the God who healed the sick in Jesus' time still works miracles today. When relationships break and your heart feels shattered, remember that the God who binds up the brokenhearted still restores and renews. His presence isn't just a comforting thought. It's a powerful reality that can transform your circumstances. Jesus showed us the fullest picture of the I Am when He said, "Before Abraham was, I am." This wasn't just a statement about existing. It was God Himself standing before them in human form. Through Jesus, the eternal God stepped into our world, making it possible for us to know Him personally. He walked our streets, felt our pain, experienced our temptations, and showed us what God's love looks like in action. He invites you into a relationship with the very source of life itself. This isn't religion, it's relationship with the living God. The power of the I Am shows up most clearly in times of crisis. When Jesus calmed the storm on the Sea of Galilee, He showed that the same God who divided the Red Sea still rules over nature. When He fed the 5,000, He proved that the God who sent manna still provides abundantly. When He raised Lazarus from the dead, He demonstrated that the God who gave life at creation still holds power over death. These weren't just historical events. They were demonstrations of the unchanging nature of the I Am. This truth needs a response from you. The God who holds everything together calls you to live according to His purpose. In a world where everything keeps changing and nothing seems certain, He offers you something solid to stand on. Your security isn't found in the changing circumstances of life, but in the unchanging character of the one who says, "I am who I am." This isn't about religion or rules. It's about finding your place in God's eternal story. The I Am controls not just your personal life, but all of history. Everything that happens, from world events to the small details of your daily life, serves His purpose. Nothing catches Him by surprise, and nothing falls outside His control. As He says in Isaiah, "I am God and there is no other." This isn't just religious talk. It's the deepest reality of how the universe works, and it should change how you see everything. When you watch the news and see chaos in the world, remember that the I Am still sits on the throne. His control extends to every area of life. In your workplace, He is there, guiding and providing opportunities. In your home, He is there, building relationships and healing wounds. In your church, He is there, building His kingdom and transforming lives. In your community, He is there, working through His people to bring hope and change. Nothing is too big for Him to handle, and nothing is too small for Him to care about. When darkness seems to be winning and you're not sure what's coming next, remember that the I Am still rules over everything. The same God who led Israel through the wilderness guides His people today. The power that split the sea still works in your life now. Your problems aren't hidden from Him, and your future is safe in His hands. When Moses doubted himself, God simply said, "I Am has sent you." Today He sends you with the same authority, backed by the same power. This isn't about your abilities. It's about His presence working through you. In times of personal crisis, the I Am proves Himself faithful. When you lose your job, He is your provider. When your health fails, He is your healer. When relationships break, He is your comforter. When decisions loom, He is your wisdom. His sufficiency covers every need, His strength supports every weakness, and His grace meets every failure. You don't need to pretend to be strong. You just need to trust in His strength. The I Am is all you need. In Jesus, you find not just salvation, but everything necessary for life. God, who doesn't need anything from creation, offers everything to those who trust Him. When Paul wrote, "My God shall supply all your needs," he understood this truth about God's complete sufficiency. This promise isn't just about material needs. It covers everything you need for life and godliness. His grace is enough. His power is enough. His love is enough. Your identity finds its true meaning in the I Am. You're not defined by your past mistakes, your current struggles, or other people's opinions. You're defined by your relationship with the eternal God who chose you, loves you, and calls you His own. When you understand this truth, it changes how you see yourself and how you face life's challenges. You can walk with confidence, not because of who you are, but because of whose you are. Time is short, and the world tries to drown out God's voice with distractions and temporary pleasures. But those who are listening must see that we're getting closer to the final revealing of His glory. The God who told Moses His name calls you to trust Him more deeply, surrender more completely, and show more real faith in these critical times. The signs are all around us. This is no time for casual Christianity or half-hearted commitment. Let the truth about who God is change how you worship. True worship doesn't come from religious duty, but from knowing who He really is and responding to His presence. The God who needs nothing invites you into relationship, offering you everything. In His presence, you find not just answers, but the very reason for living. Worship becomes your natural response to His greatness, not a scheduled activity or emotional experience. The power of the I Am transforms how you pray. When you understand that you're talking to the eternal, all-powerful God who chose to be your Father, it changes your approach to prayer. You can come boldly to His throne, knowing that He hears you and has the power to respond. Your prayers aren't wishes thrown into the wind. They're conversations with the Creator of the universe who loves you personally. Your service to God flows from this understanding of the I Am. You don't serve to earn His love or prove your worth. You serve because you're loved and valued. The same God who called Moses calls you to participate in His work today. He doesn't need your abilities, but He chooses to use them. He doesn't need your resources, but He invites you to be part of His provision for others. Every act of service becomes an opportunity to demonstrate His character to the world. The I Am changes how you handle life's battles. When you face spiritual warfare, remember that the God who defeated Pharaoh's army still fights for His people. When you struggle with temptation, remember that the God who provided manna in the desert provides a way of escape. When you face opposition, remember that the God who protected Daniel in the lion's den still protects His children. Your battles are not yours alone. The I Am fights for you. As we end this message, hear this urgent call. The I Am who showed Himself at the burning bush asks you to meet with Him today. Let go of trying to do everything yourself. Put down your heavy burdens and experience His presence. Your life, with all its problems and challenges, only makes sense when you're connected to the one who says, "I am who I am." This isn't just an invitation, it's a divine appointment that could change everything. The time for halfway faith and casual commitment is over. The eternal I Am calls you to trust Him completely, give Him everything, and boldly share His truth in these uncertain times. Will you, like Moses, accept His call? Will you let the reality of who God is change not just what you think, but how you live? The bush still burns. The voice still calls. The eternal I Am waits for your answer. This is your moment of decision. Like Moses at the burning bush, you stand on holy ground. The same God who called him calls you. The same power that worked through him is available to you. The same presence that guided him wants to guide you. Don't let fear hold you back. Don't let past failures keep you away. Don't let worldly distractions drown out His voice. The I Am calls you to a deeper walk, a stronger faith, and a greater purpose. Your response to this call could be the turning point that changes everything.